September 11th is a day not easily forgotten, be it the impact of the images, fear of recurrence, or grief for lost loved ones. It changed the world and lives of many who still suffer the consequences. How can we question how someone chooses to handle their pain? How do we support a friend who's hurting but doesn't ask for help? Most importantly, how do we recognize that we need help too? These questions help you dive into this story. Welcome to Peli Express, where you can enjoy this and other amazing films. Grab some snacks and join us in a world of uncertainty and raw emotions. Let's begin with dentist Alan Johnson, who encounters an unexpected surprise when Donald Raymar, an attractive woman, behaves suggestively during her appointment. Though puzzled, Alan remains professional and asks her to leave after the consultation. Driving home, he spots a man skateboarding between cars. Recognizing him, Alan rolls down the window and calls out to Charlie Feynman, his old college roommate. Charlie, however, seems oblivious and doesn't respond. At home, Alan tells his wife about the strange encounter, mentioning that Charlie appeared disoriented. He adds that he hasn't been able to reach Charlie since the tragedy. The next day, during Donna's follow-up, she escalates her bold behavior, suggesting sexual acts involving her new dentures. Bewildered, Alan politely declines and suggests she find another dentist. Leaving the office, Alan tells his assistant never to book that patient again. That evening, Alan and his wife spend time solving a jigsaw puzzle. Though not her favorite, their daughter asks to go to a friend's. Her mom objects. Despite the refusal, Alan agrees to escape. Dropping her off, he meets Charlie again. Alan insists they're friends, reminding Charlie of their past, and suggests coffee. Charlie, though cautious, agrees and they have coffee together. They chat. Charlie seems more at ease, but recalls little of Alan's stories. They leave and invite Charlie to their apartment. Arriving, he asks Charlie to remove his shoes and looks around the place. It's full of vinyl records of all kinds of music, and the kitchen's being renovated. They sit in the living room, chat a bit more, and Alan heads home. The next morning he goes to find Charlie, but the landlady won't give him any info. She tells him to leave and not bother Charlie. He says they're friends, he was at Charlie's place last night and the kitchen's being redone. She says that's irrelevant, as Charlie remodels his kitchen every couple of months. Charlie suddenly shows up and greets Alan, asking what he's up to and what he's planning. Their chat is cut short by a couple wanting to speak with Charlie. Charlie refuses and impulsively flees, urging Alan to hop on his skateboard and escape. Despite his confusion, Alan decides to follow Charlie. They hide in a bar to listen to music, where Alan tells Charlie about his patient Donna. Charlie's response isn't what Alan expected. He jokes at first, but then Alan suggests Charlie try dating and new relationships. This triggers Charlie, who angrily throws his drink in Alan's face. Charlie accuses Alan of talking to someone, saying he doesn't need help and to leave him alone. Alan walks away confused. This reveals the tragedy haunting Charlie. He lost his family on 9/11 in a hijacked plane. This loss scarred Charlie, explaining his behavior. The next day, Alan's co-workers share shocking news. Donna filed a harassment complaint against him. They urge quick action, warning of no support. Charlie suddenly appears, looking for Alan. The assistant asks if he has an appointment. She tells Alan about Charlie and Donna's calls. Alan and Charlie start spending more time together. Late at night, Charlie knocks on Alan's door, eager to go out. Alan, mindful of the hour, tells him it's too late, but Charlie playfully asks Alan's wife if she'll let him out. Alan laughs, reminding him he's an adult who can decide when to go out. Charlie jokes, "So, are you coming out then?" Alan, amused, glances at his wife as if seeking approval. They head out to Charlie's place to play video games, making it a weekly routine. On Donna's date night, Charlie sees her and asks if she's the beauty harassing Alan. Alan nods, and Charlie teases him about Donna's looks and her harassment. Privately, Donna apologizes to Alan, admitting her odd behavior won't happen again. One night during their hangouts, Alan and Charlie decide to catch a late movie. Though Alan plans to head home, Charlie convinces him to stay, leading to one of Alan's most enjoyable nights ever. Leaving the cinema, Alan spots several missed calls from his wife and decides to call her back. Clearly worried, she tells him his father has passed away and the family awaits him in their time of grief. Charlie, sensing something's wrong, asks Alan if everything's okay. Alan, still in shock, shares the tragic news with Charlie. Charlie, rather insensitively, suggests they go get breakfast. Confused and slightly angry, Alan decides to leave. In the days following, during his father's wake, Alan is visited by Charlie's accountant, who warns him about any false story he might have told Charlie to get $1 million. Alan refuses the money, stating he's just a college friend and won't take advantage of Charlie. Days later, Charlie shows up at Alan's house to invite him for breakfast. Alan generously suggests Charlie join his family for breakfast instead. Though uncomfortable, Charlie accepts, and we see them sharing a meal together. Charlie, however, eats in a separate corner of the kitchen. As their friendship grows, Alan considers helping Charlie with his issues. His wife reminds him Charlie must seek help himself. You can't force assistance. She advises Alan to consult professionals and talk to Charlie first. Alan follows his wife's advice and approaches a psychologist for guidance. The psychologist explains Charlie must want help before it can be given. Despite Alan's good intentions, he sets up an informal meeting with a psychiatrist at the record store, but it backfires. Charlie gets upset, blaming Alan and saying he thought he was different. A few days later, Charlie approaches Alan, admitting he needs help but finds it tough to face. He decides to see a doctor Charlie knows, though he's hesitant, thinking she's too young to understand. Despite reservations, Charlie attends a session, trying to open up but struggling to share. Over time, Charlie finally finds a safe space to open up during the sessions. But not with the doctor, with his friend Alan. After this revealing chat, Charlie has a psychotic episode. He grabs a gun at home, faces cops, gets arrested, and tried for his diagnosed PTSD. The trial debates if he should go to a clinic or be set free. They interview Charlie's shrink, accountant, and in-laws who wanted to talk to him before. It's tough for Charlie, and music is his only escape. The judge, seeing the case's complexity, delays the verdict till Monday. Donna shows interest in Charlie at trial, and with the shrink they slam the unfair system. Charlie, moved by Donna's words, faces his in-laws, sharing his pain and constant longing for family. No need for photos to remember them. He reveals everyone reminds him of his late wife, and he left to stay sane. Understanding Charlie's pain, his in-laws accept and let him move on. Charlie moves to a new apartment and continues therapy. Though Charlie still craves Alan's constant company, Alan must return home to his family. Unexpectedly, Donna arrives with pizza to share with Charlie. Despite initial awkwardness, Charlie accepts her offer. Later, Alan calls his wife to express love and regret for distancing. His wife, teary-eyed, urges him to come home quickly. At the front desk, they give Alan Charlie's skateboard. Though he argues at first since it's not his, he decides to ride it, feeling free and fulfilled. Got any snacks left? If yes, watch more videos like this on our channel. Subscribe and like. If not, subscribe anyway.